All right, what's the motherfucking deal? Welcome to the den. And yes, it's hatless. And nigga brought it to sit his name, mute myself. Nigga, I was tinkering with the shit behind the scenes, make sure everything was in order before I started talking shit. Talking about I'm gonna mute myself. Yes, nigga. And I was deliberate. I took extra time deliberately because of you, Broderick. Just because. But let's talk about it, man. A lot of stuff going on, man. We're going to discuss the situation that took place yesterday at Kenosha, Washington. Jacob Blake, 29-year-old black male, was shot, or was an officer-involved shooting. And allegedly, he was there to break up a fight, apparently, or something of that nature. We'll get into all of that. We'll talk about all of it. But again, welcome to the Den. If you're not familiar with the Den is the best conversation on the internet. The reason why is because of all of you wonderful people who join the conversation each and every night. And I know it's a little bit early tonight, that we're having this conversation. But like I just figured, we'll see how it goes. We'll probably stick to the normal 2-hour rule, but if the conversation's good, if everything is if it's one of those conversations, we may go a little bit longer. But just testing something out, see how it works. So, other than that, let's see. Let's see what it is, man. So, like I say, no, he's a 29-year-old black man. We got to make sure we include that. Otherwise, we're not telling the story accurately, Broderick. Now, had the race have been reversed, now we don't talk about that. You know how this works. You know the rules. You know the rules of media, Mr. Broderick. We got to play by the rules. Let's see what we got joining us tonight, man. And then let's dive into some good conversation. Again, like I say, hopefully all you guys are doing well and, that you're taking care of yourself out there. John from New York Show, what's the motherfucking deal? My favorite New Yorker, Miss Bell. Hope all is well. Cultured, a.k.a. Don of the Discord in the building. How you doing this evening? What's the motherfucking deal, sir? Trixie McFly, Sweetberry D, the Gamma. Ladies, how are you all doing this evening? I hope all is well. HCX Savage, Man Cave, what's the motherfucking deal? Bad Bot, what's the motherfucking deal? So Lise, what's the motherfucking deal? Sandland, ain't been on here in a minute. Well, good to see you. Hopefully still sticking around. I know I got in here a little bit tardy. It happens. Let's see. Broderick, what's the motherfucking deal? Yes, early dead. We're going to talk about it and see how it shakes. Lockbert. I'm missing that. I must have missed it. Maybe I can go catch it on replay and see if Misty's speaking for Trump at the convention. That would be gold, right? Because didn't Misty already say? Did Misty call in and say she's flipping the script, right? Didn't she say that? We've had two super anti-Trump people in this community flip the script. That should tell you something, right? That should, for whoever you may be, whatever side you may be on, should make you wonder, right? Ronald Isley, a.k.a. Ashley, what's the motherfucking deal? Man, well, I don't know. You got the man screen name, the female real personality. I don't know how to address you. I try to be nice to the ladies, but you know how that goes. Let's see. Let's see. It's Kenneth. What's the motherfucking deal? Houston B. What's the motherfucking deal? Let's see. Steven. What's the motherfucking deal? Infinity. Reform pimp. We reform pimps in the den too. That's how we do. We get people on the right track. Oh, that's so funny. Yeah, I had to take the cap off today, but I had to my shit ain't been done, so I still had to because I wear this little sleeve shit usually throughout the day. And so I'm like, look, I can't expose all the ruffiness, but I don't feel like wearing a hat today. You feel me? So, let's see. No, I haven't played Fall Guys. Ain't that like a PlayStation thing? You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. I saw everybody go crazy because some dude won a game of Fall Guys. I don't know. Some Tim person. I don't know. But anyway, so let's talk about it. Let's get into it. A lot of stuff going on with this situation, right? And when I first saw it, shared it in the Den Discord. If you're not a part of the Discord, yes, become a part of that community, or that portion of the community. Because you are, honestly, at this point, the more the Discord goes on, the more it becomes the den, right? And what I'm saying is like it becomes a big element of the den. Because like I said, the den, like we go for like 2 hours, Monday through Friday, right? But the Discord, it's available 24 hours a day. If anybody's in there, people jump into conversation. But the conversations go all fucking night long. So, if you are a night owl, you got insomnia, you just want somebody to talk to, man. Become a part of that community. It's usually always somebody in there to chop it up with. But like I said, this guy, Jacob Blake, right? And when I saw this video, you think of a few different things. I'm not going to show it on here, because whatever reasons. But again, like I say, we'll dive deeper in this, later in the Discord. But so I'm looking, and I'm just like, that was stupid. I think he did a stupid thing. Now, do I think that it could have been a situation where it could have been avoided? He wasn't killed, right? So I know a lot of people, he got killed. He didn't get killed. So this is why there's a lot of layers to this. We're gonna talk about each of these things, right? And why this situation, it could have been, in my opinion, it could have almost been the next George Floyd situation. But because this man did not die, or has not died, as late as I've checked, and the latest I've checked is that he was still alive, right? So if that's the case, then it's a bit of a problem, because now we can't use you for whatever narrative we want to use you for. We can't say this, that, and the third. We can't just run and throw a bunch of pictures of your dead body or of your face or whatever and say, well, this guy would have wanted us, Black Lives Matter, et cetera, right? Because he's alive. Black Lives Matter does not want living black men. No. Those lives don't matter. They want dead black men. That's what they can capitalize off of. So I don't expect to see like the push behind this ultimately. Like at first, when he was kind of critical, like I expect there's going to be a bunch of rage behind him. There's still going to be people mad. Again, they were out there last night and they were setting shit on fire. They set dump trucks on fire. We were watching in the Discord, like I say, pretty much, like as it was going on. It was pretty wild. I almost thought about streaming last night, but I was too tired to do that shit. But so like I say, it's one of these situations. Everybody's mad. Everybody's up in arms. I look at it like this. Now, one, I don't support Black Lives Matter. Don't really give a shit about that, right? Two, like I look at the situation objectively. I'm trying to look at it objectively because I don't know what happened, right? Now people have said that there are warrants, and there's something I came across which I'm going to share in a second. And when I share this with you, it's a hypothetical because again, to confirm if it's accurate or not, have not done that yet. But we'll get into that. But here's the situation, right? If we're living in this climate where if you're a black person and you feel like black people are getting killed every day and getting gunned down and annihilated by the cops all over the place, right? Like, why would you take a chance? And I'm not saying that I don't know if he's a BLM type person. I don't know if he's involved in it at all. He might not even give a fuck, right? I don't know, but I know, he's had some history. I can't talk to him. I've had history. Not all of us, but so I'm not judging him on that, right? But my thing is like, if you are in a situation where you're having a conflict with law enforcement, you've been tased, right? Well, there's only a couple of things that are going to happen from there. And you're either going to, comply and either get arrested or the situation's going to escalate and, it could end up being much worse. But my thing, and that's like we've seen from motherfuckers just kind of moving around on the ground. This guy, and again, not victim blaming, I'm just telling you what I saw in my thought process. This guy, when you see the video happening, is basically getting up off the ground from the other side of the vehicle. So you can't tell if was he tased or what was going on. You see officers with their weapons drawn, right? And again, if you're a black man and you feel like you're in fear of your life and you feel like the cops are killing people like crazy and then you're to the point where the weapons are already drawn on you, again, what is the next step if you're a person that feels that way, right? But obviously, the gentleman didn't feel that way, and he got up and made his way to his vehicle, right? So it's like, good grief, you know. I don't really care who you are. I don't think it's a wise decision to be making your way towards your vehicle to grab anything, right? Like that's just that. Like honestly, like ultimately we can talk about police, we can talk about private citizens, we can talk about like whatever. Ultimately, and I believe, like I want to believe, the strongest human instinct is survival, right? Like you want to be alive, and I'm sure so you want to survive. You know, you want your genes to survive. So like, I think when you're in a situation that's under duress or whatever it is, like you got to take the smart. Like don't give anybody else the opportunity, right? And of course, you know what's going to happen if you do these things. Okay, you allow the media to spin it whatever way it wants to be spun, because again, like I say, you put yourself in this situation. But I'm sure at the point when all this is happening, nobody's thinking like, oh, this is going to become a big national event. I'm just a man trying to resolve a problem with law enforcement. But again, it goes to the vehicle. Stupid move. Like, I mean, come on now. Like at that point, like I know nobody likes it. Nobody wants to say, well, yeah, you got to shoot him at that point or whatever. Like, but let's be real. You don't know what's going on. And we've seen time and time again in these instances, whether you agree or disagree, that you've seen lesser incidents where law enforcement has gotten off, thought my life was in danger, whatever. You have a situation where you're going into a vehicle, reaching for something. I have no idea what you're going to get, right? And again, if weapons are already drawn on you, my first thought would be that you're going to get something to either defend yourself or strike back or whatever, right? A weapon. So, if I'm law enforcement or whatever, if I have the upper hand, I have leverage in the situation, I'm not going to allow you, to get to that opportunity. So, like, I understand why it happened. Could have been prevented? Yeah. But at the same time, like, why would you give the option to somebody else to prevent a situation that you could stop from happening? And that's kind of my big beef with it. Like, now somebody said that they were there serving him a warrant. Some people said, oh, the cops were called for a different domestic disturbance. Like, again, lots of different narratives, lots of misinformation being put out, lots of stuff being said about, different things. Now, here's the thing that bothers me the most, though, right? And all the other information, when I heard it, was like, it's kind of whatever. Hey, it's you, do what you do. But there were 3 children in the car, apparently. I believe 3, 5, and 8, something like that. I believe he had 3 kids in the car. Knowing this makes me a little bit more upset with the gentleman, right? Because as I was talking about self-preservation, you have weapons drawn on you. Again, anything can happen. You're moving in the vicinity of a vehicle with your children in it, right? In a time where everybody in the world is telling you that laws have gone crazy, everything's crazy, right? So you're gonna go get in a situation where you're putting your children possibly in the crossfire. And like that situation right there is where I'm like, I don't know, bro. Like I can't, like if it's you and it's your life, do what you do with it, right? I mean, I guess that's on you, But like I say, you got weapons drawn on you, and you're good grief. I'm actually not feeling too tired for a start. I'm just yawning like crazy, right? And like I said, you're in a situation where your kids in the car, and you put them in danger, man. Like now, them kids they saw that. Right, they're going to be scarred for life no matter what happens. Like, it's those children are ruined. Those children are going to have a negative view of law enforcement forever, right? Because, especially they're young, they probably don't understand. And again, depending on the type of community you've grown up in, negativity towards law enforcement is going to be instilled in you either way, right? So, like I say, that to me that was a bad job of being a father, and that's a problem. But still, did what he did? Did he deserve to get shot for it? Probably not. But again, you know the situation you're in. I would be foolish to think that, someone who has a weapon drawn on me has my best interest in mind. I think it's pretty ignorant to believe that, whether you're in the right or in the wrong, right? Like, you know what I'm saying? That's my thing. So it's the same as believing a robber has your best interest in mind. Like, hey, give me your wallet and I won't shoot you. You give me your wallet and they still shoot your ass, right? So it's like you have to be smart. You know what I'm saying? Like, and the moves and the things that he did they were ignorant, and we can get mad at the cops and whatever. But this is a situation where I'm not necessarily. Again, more details I'm sure need to come out. We all know the story, but right now, I'm trying to avoid the caffeine. But like it's a situation where I think it could have totally been prevented. If they were serving him a warrant, is a situation where he was trying to avoid that, where he was like, could we look at these scenarios for what they are. We just look at that, right? This one's, they're terrible. And again, I got to remember, this is the same guy that took a vacation earlier this year. But being a cop is a job I would never fucking do. One, I fuck with y'all, but I ain't finna be out here risking my life for y'all. Like, y'all too goddamn ungrateful. You feel me? Y'all motherfuckers talk shit about the laws all day. The same ones be the first ones to call them, right? So like my thing is this though, ultimately. I don't like, again, here's the word that we hate to use, especially in the black community: accountability. Like, my guy, if they just tased you or whatever, man, even if that shit ain't impact you, you know what's happening. If you've been tased, you're going to be under arrest. You're about to be arrested, right? If you're not, that's the reason you're tased, is because you didn't cause a situation and you're making it difficult to arrest you. Like, just let it be, right? There, at that point, you done got hit with the taser. Even if it ain't affecting you, all right, dog, here it is. It is what it is. You created a situation where your children were endangered. Like, you got shot. And again, like, I think they could have tackled him or whatever. Yeah, they could have done all that. But at the same time, like, fuck that. Again, don't think somebody else is going to give a fuck about your life. Like, that's stupid. That's the problem that we have here in this country, too. It's like we've been duped into a bunch of bullshit. Like, we get concerned about people passing and dying and when things happen. But let me tell you why. It's not because we really care about each other. We don't. Because if we did, like, we'd be on this type of shit before it happened. Like, the people who really care get shamed for caring, right? Because genuine concern isn't pleasant. It's not going to be like, oh, hey, how's everything going today? You're super special. Genuine concern comes with criticism, right? It comes with some tough talk. People can't handle that these days, so nobody wants to hear that, right? But like I say, we're at this point, we don't care about each other. We just recognize our own mortality when these situations happen. So we see ourselves in these situations, and so then we get sad or we get upset or whatever it may be. Like, that's basically where we are in this country. It has nothing to do with caring. We don't. Like, because think of on a day-to-day basis, like, we don't give a fuck about each other. It's only when something, a celebrity or something just super tragic happens, then it's like, hey, we whatever. And yeah, that's a weird thing too, right? That's a weird thing too, right? They're holding his shirt as he got shot. It's real weird. Like, just a whole bunch of weird things going on in this situation. Now, we're going to open up the line shortly, so you guys can call, you can speak your piece, whatever thoughts you may have on the topic tonight. We will get into that. But before we do all that, I want to share something that came across my time. Like, again, I have not confirmed it, but apparently you can't go look it up on the website. It's from what I was told. I fucked some stuff up with the computer today, so I've had to spend a little bit of time fixing that, and so I hadn't had a chance to look into it. But I'm gonna share this, and we'll figure it out, right? Do 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 do. Oh, right here. It's in the wrong fucking phone. Oh shit! All right, it's kind of big, so I'm gonna put it up here. It might kind of block the screen a little bit, but y'all should be able to see right here. Wow. All right. So, let me move this to the forefront where you can see everything. Right. We'll do it like this, and this is if you are for or against him. If you're for him, I want to know if this changes your opinion at all. If you're against it, I want to know if this changes your opinion at all. But apparently, allegedly, this is the warrant that they were trying to serve, right? Up here, I don't know if you can see it. I don't. Let me see if I can put the cursor on here. And that way you can see what I'm actually trying to point it as it's going. No, I don't have the option for a cursor. But, I know what I can do. I forgot all about this little thing. How does it work? I forgot how to do this thing, right? What is it? Is it interact? I think it's interact. I think this is it. No, that ain't it. Anyway, I forgot how to use this little fucking thing. But anyway, so I'll just do it like this. So say file date 7/6/2020. So this is recent, right? Criminal case, filed only, arrest warrant issued, right? And case number, branch, all that other stuff. Good, the information that you need right there. Defendant 4/30/1991. I believe that's his birthday. So what you have here, you have the prosecuting information, all the other good stuff. But you got some stuff right here, right? A couple of statutes. You got criminal trespass. You have domestic abuse. You have third-degree sexual assault. You have domestic abuse. You have disorderly conduct. And you have domestic abuse. So you have 2 misdemeanors and a felony, right? So what is going on here that if this is what is being served, what is taking place, right? Sexual assault, domestic abuse. What is happening? All right, let me do it right here. It's probably my fault. I am turned away from the mic. Let's do it like so. How about that? Is that a little bit louder? All right. So here's the thing, right? So we're looking at it, like I said, you have criminal trespassing, which sounds like going somewhere he's not supposed to be. Domestic abuse sounds like a situation where you've gone somewhere you're not supposed to be and you're harming someone closely related to you. And I'm making speculations, right? So this is pure speculations, right? So let's see. Third-degree sexual assault. Now, in the midst of 3 domestic abuses, is a third-degree sexual assault. What is that, right? And then disorderly conduct, which can be a litany of things. So let's kind of scroll a little bit more real quick and get to the bottom of this. Let me tell you what sexual assault, I'll read this to you. Third-degree sexual assault. A person is guilty of third-degree sexual assault if he or she is over the age of 18 and engaged in sexual penetration with another person over the age of 14 years and under the age of consent, 16 years of age. So what is that telling you? Right? And again, now I say all of this to ask you if this changes your mind about this individual, whether you agree, whether you disagree, right? But here is the real thing, right? Whether he did have underage sex with someone, does that justify him getting shot? Does that validate, what took place? Now, I know we're in this society of, we're quick to judge and, trust me, after the whole cuties conversation and all that, you know exactly how I feel about this. But if we're being rational, everybody's entitled to their day in court, right, to prove themselves. An allegation does not mean you're guilty. We've seen several times when people have made assumptions and have been wrong before. But if this is true, if these things are actual, in fact, things that did take place and happen, well, I think we got a bit of a problem, right? I think it's real questionable because say the movement does get behind them, right? Say the BLM, wave does get behind them. Then you have to start asking some questions, right? You really got to start asking some questions. And again, it's up to you to decide the weight of those answers, Like, I can't tell you what you should and shouldn't believe. Again, we're here in the den to have a conversation, to know how you feel, to know what you think about it. So, like I say, I want to know your thoughts. When we open the line here in just a second, I want to know your thoughts. Is this another George Floyd type situation? Will it have a similar outcome, or is it different because the gentleman lived? Do you think that Black Lives Matter will get behind this? Do you think there will be a situation similar to what's been going on around the country where a lot of riots have taken place? Do you think that this will, add more fuel to the fire? I want to know your views. I want to know your thoughts on this whole situation. And actually, we'll talk about it. Let me open up the line. We'll have a 10-minute rule in effect. I'll be on point this time. I know I've gotten a little loose with certain conversations. So we'll have a 10-minute rule in effect. We will... Something else. What was I supposed to talk about? I said I was going to do. Yeah, that's it. That's pretty much it. Let's get it. Let me open this shit up. Oh, son of a bitch. Drop my fucking bottle of water. But again, so to me though, right, I definitely feel like, it does ask a lot of questions, right? And, oh, I meant to share this. This is what I forgot. Before we get into this, right, there was an article. So I'm going to kind of skip through a lot of this. This is a CBS News article. I don't have it set up to show on the thing. I guess I could. It wouldn't take that long to do it, I guess. But I'm not going to do that. So I'll just read it to you. What it says here. It talks about video showing, when he pointed his weapons when he's walking away. Said officers provided medical aid to Blake, who was transported to a hospital in Milwaukee. Two of the officers involved were placed on administrative leave. And let's see. Says an eyewitness who captured video of the shooting told CBS News, MOLA, whatever, that before he started filming, one officer had Blake in a headlock and another was punching him in the ribs. A female officer tased Blake, the witness said. The witness added that Blake scuffled with the police before the shooting and that he heard an officer tell Blake to drop the knife, although the witness said he never saw Blake holding a knife. The shooting comes amid nationwide coverage over the fatal police shootings of Black Americans. Benjamin Crump, who's always conveniently placing himself at the center of any one of these incidents, he's always available. Y'all ever notice that? Like a lot of these, like the same way, and I don't understand why people don't get this, but whatever. Like every time there's been a black incident, right? How the fuck is Benjamin Crump involved, right? In every single one of them. Every time there's an incident with a woman. Who's that chick? What's her? Was it Gloria Allred? Is that the one? I can't remember. I think it's Gloria something. She's always involved. Like, these situations. There was time to march, and it was called Al with his fucking alien head. Like, y'all don't get like these people somehow conveniently are always available for these types of situations only. But if you believe in them, if you count on them to do whatever. I mean, I guess it is what it is. But anyway, whatever. He's talking about the kids, baby. It says, Crump said that Blake was attempting to de-escalate a fight between two other people when officers arrived at the scene, drew their weapons, and tased him. He's talking about we'll seek justice. Dude says, wow, damn. Oh, but they lifelined him, so I guess it didn't take as long. Because Kenosha was 40 miles south of Milwaukee. So I'm like, damn, he went to the hospital 40 miles away. But they did lifeline him, so there's that. Several businesses in the area were vandalized. 50 cars were set on fire. Let's see. Second straight night of curfews tonight. 125 members of the state National Guard support local law enforcement and to protect critical infrastructure. Let's see. And yeah, that's pretty much that. But yeah, again, like I say, the knife thing, the fight thing, I mean, that's kind of neither here nor there because we don't necessarily have proof of it. But again, you've been beat up, you've been punched, you've been choked out, you've been tased, yet somehow you still manage to get up. If I'm the one that's done all this stuff to you, if I done punched you, if I done choked you out, if I tased you, and I see you getting up and walking towards your vehicle, what do you think I'm thinking you're about to do? I don't know. Is it right? I don't know. It's up to you to decide. So, like I said, let's oh, yeah. And then it said, they were called about a domestic incident. This is a different section, CNN order. 511 on Sunday. So, yeah, so apparently, like I said, some people saying they were there for a warrant. Other people saying that they were there for a domestic disturbance. And the crazy thing about it is there are no body cameras. So, they're talking about they're budgeted for purchase in 2022. That's crazy. But I think had they had some, I think we have a different situation. Or as far as handling the information, I think, maybe it's different. But I think there's going to be a lot left up to interpretation with this. So, all right, now, phone line. Let's talk all that good shit. Yeah, I'm mad. Fucking Rockets lost today. Fucking terrible. Shitty fucking Chris Paul. He's a piece of shit. I guess the smart thing to do would be to put the number up there. If you don't know the number, 855-948-0369 is the den line. Now I get this properly activated. And good to go. Let's take some calls, man. Whatever is on your mind, whatever you may feel. Again, whether you agree, disagree, have a different perspective, point of view, or opinion on the matter, everybody is welcome to call in. Oh, man, welcome. Like fucking, what was that shit? AOL. You've got mail. But yeah, like I said, crazy shit. Did I put 6ix9ine on purpose? Yeah, I did. Actually, they didn't have any other nifty. They didn't have any other nifty fucking like novelty names. Like I know the old numbers. I know one of the old original sauce line number had like sauce in it, and I want to say the old school den number was like had the den was something the den. But yeah, this is just 6ix9ine was the best I come up with. I fucking gotta remember to do that after I clear the cookies. What's the motherfucking deal? Who do we have calling in to the den this evening?
Hey, what's up, Honcho? This is BadBot21.
Bad bot, what's the motherfucking deal, man? What are your thoughts on the situation with Jacob Blake and what took place in Kenosha yesterday?
So, so I think what we need to know, I mean, from what I've seen, because I haven't done as much research, as past what the Discord kind of went through and like what I've seen on Twitter, but I really think that what I am seeing is like I think that people are just dying to make this another race issue, and I don't mean this like in a derogatory way towards the black community, but I do think that the community is jumping on this a little bit too quickly, as opposed to letting the facts come out. Because, I mean, the whole situation is complicated. I mean, the situation is tragic regardless. I mean, they shouldn't have gotten to that point, but I think there is like an equal amount of blame to go around. The man shouldn't have been, low key going to his car all smooth and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because that dude was smooth walking to his car. You know what I'm saying? If you watch the video, they clearly tell him to stop, and he's smooth walking to his car like he's about to pull a strap out. You know what I'm saying? At least that's what I feel like. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, though, I don't actually know because I've only seen one video, one small story. One side of it. We don't actually know all the facts. You know what I'm saying? We only know so much. So we're doing a lot of assuming. And when you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. You know what I'm saying? So that's I think that people just need to wait for more facts to come out. But let's say he is let's say he was gonna get a gun, then I think that the cops they're in the right. But I think that they definitely, like if you were in the Discord last night, Mr. Rashida said you could have rushed him. I agree. You could have rushed his ass. Like, I'm sorry, they could have bum rushed his ass and tackled him. I mean, if you ever saw Baker Mayfield, that dude didn't make it 5 feet before he got tackled. You know what I'm saying? I'm sorry, I don't know what it was. Maybe these guys had the trigger finger, they were scared, what. But also, if I can get some other insight, I actually took a law enforcement class when I was in high school for 2 years. And it was by an ex-cop. Before I went to prison, when I wanted to be a cop, before life hit me, before life hit me. But, I actually talked to a cop, and he was an ex-cop, and the way cops are trained, and I don't know if this is a Texas thing or what, but cops are trained to kill. Cops, if they believe their life is in danger or they have a gun and they're going to use it, the second they pull the pistol out and they're going to use deadly force, because if you notice, people will say, well, why did they shoot him in the leg or the arm or disable him? For one, these cops are fat. These are fat dudes. They're not ninjas, for one. Right. Two, these dudes are not. If you get shot in the leg, you can still die. I don't know if people know this. You have an artery in your leg. Correct. So you can die. And also, if you get shot by a 9mm in the arm or the leg, you could lose that limb and still die. You're getting shot. These people are watching way too many movies and playing way too many video games. You get shot, period, you could die. Almost instantly. Obviously, if you get shot somewhere else, like your heart or your brain, you're going to it's almost instant death guaranteed. But at the same time, just because you get shot in the leg or the arm doesn't mean you're still not going to die. And also, these cops are trained. This is what the cop said. The cops are trained to kill, shoot, center mass. They are not trained to shoot you in the arm because they're not trained to shoot you in the chest because the pieces of shit want to kill you and they have discretion. No, their policy is to kill you because if they go out of their way to shoot you in the arm or the leg, they will get fired and in trouble. Their ass is grass. They literally are rewarded for killing you. I'm not joking in that. They are told to kill you, not injure you. Seriously. I heard that from a cop when I was a teenager. So if that cop pulls a gun on you, you better fucking do what he says because he's not shooting to injure and disable. He's shooting to kill and take your life. It's over. Now, some people don't understand it. Now, whether or not that's right, I'm not fighting for whether that's right. I'm just saying what's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? So, because I'm not saying that, that cops shouldn't have – what I think would prevent stuff like this is cops had better training and better disabling tactics and would be allowed to use those disabling tactics. You know what I mean? Even though I know a taser was used on him and it was supposedly ineffective, I think that there's still, there should be more steps into disabling a person, whether or not he's on drugs or whatever, back up. You get what I'm saying? Before it escalates to that degree. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I don't know, man. I think that the situations need more detailed, but at the same time, I don't like the situation. I don't like how people are jumping to conclusions too quick. I can see that, like on Twitter, for example, D-Hop and Tyrann Mathieu, I think, and Penny Stills tweeted about it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, another black man killed. You know, and I do understand. You know, the anger y'all might feel that, you know, hey, another black. You know, that's not cool. You know, if I was Hispanic and my brothers and sisters were getting killed, I would feel some type of way about it. So I do understand. I'm not, you know, an asshole. I am sympathetic to the situation. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I do feel like this is also, people are, you know, they're opportunistic and they're smart. So, you know, at the same time, there's a lot of evil people out there. They're going to take advantage of the situation, sadly, and they're going to use this as fuel for fire so they can start rioting and looting, which I think is wrong. And I'm sorry, I think the peaceful protest is the way to go. But at the same time, I mean, I don't know, man. It's a crazy situation, man. But also, just one other thing before, if he is a sex offender and he did do that shit, I don't feel sorry for him, just to be honest. I'm gonna be honest with you. Let's say he did have sex with a little kid. I like, what happened to him is fucked up, regardless of whether who's right or wrong. But at the same time, let's be 1,000. This is my fucking opinion. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all can have y'all's opinion. I don't feel sorry for him. If he fucked a little kid and he got fucked off, whether or not it was their fault or his fault, I don't give a fuck. Fuck, you know, he can go fuck himself. You know what I'm saying? Just being 1,000 with you. I guess maybe because I came from prison and we deal with sex offenders and shit. You know, they get handled, they get dealt with. You know, he'll get his comeuppance. You know what I'm saying? From the streets. With that, in regard to that. But at the same time, I don't really feel too sorry for him if he is a sex offender and he is fucking little kids. But at the same time, that doesn't justify an evil action of another person. Because one thing I don't like, something I did see in prison, you know, when, like, you know, I'm not, without getting inappropriate, you know, like, you know, when there's a sex offender in prison, some people will justify raping another sex offender. I think that's wrong. That's literally like, oh, you did something evil, so let me do something evil to you. I don't think two wrongs make a right. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Yeah, but I don't like evil people in general. And that's just kind of my thoughts on it. I mean, how do you feel about a Honcho? Like, you know, like, you think, like, from what you see in the video?
Like I say, my situation is, the way I look at it is this. Again, you know, if, like in the article it said, hey, if you were getting beat up on and all this other stuff, like, you know, there's only a couple of other options past that if you're not cooperating. So if you at that point, you know, if there was less lethal force being used and, you know, you still fighting back, you're not cooperating, like you see that they're trying to apprehend you or whatever, whether you're in the right or wrong, like, again, your strongest instinct should be to protect yourself. Going off and doing what he did, you know, that in many people's eyes going to validate their actions. Now, again, you don't know what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to be straight up. If I'm on the other end, say if it's me and I got beef with somebody, right? Say we fighting or something in a club parking lot or whatever you want to call it. I'm beating his ass and I done put out my little taser. I done tased him. I done choked him out and all this other shit. And this nigga get up and he like, all right, and he make his way to the car. Well, I'm going to look at like, I might only have one other option if I have to resolve this situation. You know, I'm like, I don't know what he's going to get. I don't know what's going to happen. Well, hey, you know, say goodnight because you've engaged in an action that makes me feel like, well, you going to do it to me? Because that's what I'm thinking in my head because I know I'd do it to him. So, again, is it wrong? Is it right? It all comes down to it, man. Look, people, the laws, they're people too. I'm not justifying them, but people are fearful. If I got the gun in my hand and I feel like somebody has a chance to, you know, get me, I'm going to lick them first. It's just, that's just the mentality. Again, I think the outcome makes it look worse than what it is. Like I said, I just think, oh boy, like you got your kids in the car, you got all that stuff going on, man. Take the L and move forward. You know what I'm saying? Like get past it.
Yeah, and also another thing to think about, if he had a warrant for his arrest, now that I think about it, he might have just been trying to dip off on him. You know what I'm saying? He might have tried to dip off on him. You know, not try to get in a shootout. He might have been trying to dip off on their asses. Now, if that's the case and they just shot him because they were like, oh, this dude's trying to get away from us, you know what I'm saying? That's some fucked up shit. Fuck those cops, you know what I'm saying? Because also, you know, at the end of the day, you know, cops do a lot of hoe-ass shit. I'll tell you know, just to get a little off track, I've been robbed by the cops. No bullshit. Like, when I got arrested in San Antonio, or I'm sorry, in Seguin, Texas, I can't remember what fucking county it was. Oh, no, Guadalupe County. Guadalupe Sheriff's fucking, those fuckers. I had a lot of money on me in cash. Guess what happened when I got to the motherfucking police department? I was missing a few $100. I was missing a few $100. Those motherfuckers will rob you out there. Yeah.
Hey, look at this.
And
you gotta pay to play.
I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You want to play the game. That's
how it goes.
Yeah, you got to pay to play. So those cops they knew who I was, and they knew what was going on. You know what I'm saying? They taxed my bitch ass. But I will say this though, they did. I should have gotten charged with something more severe. I think they let me make it and gave me a little misdemeanor. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? They taxed me, but I came out ahead.
Yeah.
But yeah, them motherfuckers will rob you. You know what I'm saying? The cops aren't the best people, but there are good cops out there. But at the same time, it's just the real world, man. You gotta go with the flow, man. But at the same time, it's just a tragic situation altogether. I hope he pulls through because I don't want anybody to die.
Yeah.
To be honest, I think it's fucked up. I hope he's all right. I hope he pulls through. I feel sorry for the children. I feel sorry for all those people that had to see something terrible like that because I know that shit was traumatic.
Yeah.
I'm sure that fucked somebody up. But you know, the whole situation is just a big clusterfuck. But we have to wade through it and see what's going on. I think that we have to wait for more information, if there is any more information, because sadly there's no body cams. We already discovered that. That's terrible. That's not good. So that's going to suck. But, I mean, it's just a terrible situation. And I hope the dude pulls through. Oh, I hope he's not a sex offender. That makes me feel less bad for him if he's a sex offender and he's fucking little kids. But at the same time, I think that if we're going to get on the subject of how that should have been handled, I honestly think they should have rushed his bitch ass. I think they should have tackled him. Those two cops should have fucking holstered their weapons so nobody tries to go for their guns. I'm not saying choke him out. I'm saying tackle his bitch ass and try to restrain him as best as you can. Because those cops did not try to restrain him. Let's be honest with you. I know they're in Houston. If I fucking try to run or do something, cops will restrain me. I've seen cops restrain people. You know what I'm saying? They'll tackle my bitch ass. You know what I'm saying? Maybe because I'm small or something. I don't know. But you know what I'm saying? I think that they should have tackled them. Maybe they're pussies. I don't know. Maybe they're doing something with.
I personally believe that plays a lot into it too. Like that's why I say like also with a lot of these situations, you need better cops. Like we got to stop with this. Hey, we need a bunch of cops. Let's just hire anybody. Like I've seen some of the most overweight, obese cops. Like if you don't think that plays into how people are getting apprehended, then you're a fucking fool. Like. An overweight, obese cop is going to do the same thing an overweight, obese person is going to do. They're going to kind of do the easier thing. Whatever takes me less effort. I don't have the energy to do certain things. So I truly, honestly believe an overweight cop would be more likely to shoot you than a healthy cop would. A healthy cop's going to get out there and scrap with you. It might not be the smartest thing, but you know they're going to go through and they're going to do the things like that it takes. I've seen something. It's like I'm like, how did you? Like there should be standards. Like you should have, like you should be once you get through the academy. Like there should be a yearly standard, just like continuing education for anything. Like, and if you are not up to because you're given power and position unlike any other in any other field, right? You're given immunity in a lot of situations, things like that. But with that power, like what's the saying, you know, great power, great responsibility. Like you should be held to a higher standard. And I don't think there should be anything like nobody should have a problem saying that law enforcement should be held to a physical higher standard. Like that shouldn't be an issue. Like if I need to be saved, I want the best shaped motherfucker. Like if somebody's been kidnapped and ran off with your baby, who's gonna catch them? The obese motherfucker ain't finna run their ass down. You want somebody in shape or whatever the fuck is going on. Like there's nothing wrong with that. So if anybody like disagrees with them, you're a fucking idiot. Like you got a problem with having cops in beating shape, you're fucking stupid. Like
absolutely. And just to not take up too much time to play off of that, you know, here's another statistic. Female cops are more likely to shoot you than a male cop. And the reason for that is because a fucking female cop knows she ain't got no win against a motherfucking big ass dude if he's gonna start snapping her shit up.
Exactly.
So what is she gonna do? The first thing she's gonna do is pull that pistol out and fucking do the only because she knows she ain't gonna fucking beat your ass, but she's gonna fucking blow your head off. You know what I'm saying? So you know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm saying. Like that's something to put up. That the person that actually is the cop plays a big role into how the situation is handled.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying? So I absolutely agree with you.
I think that there has to be like levels of physical standards, and then I think that also, you know, we talked about like disabling. I think that you know some level of hand-to-hand combat training is readily available. You hear instructors all the time talking about they're willing to give free courses to police and stuff like that, so it wouldn't be something where they'd have to come out of pocket. And I mean, it only helps them be safer too. You know what I mean? So
honestly, like us coming to as a community together to make the police better, I think is actually a beautiful thing. But and I'm sorry, like. You know how we have cancel culture? We need to start canceling these fucking people that are suing the cops when they're doing whole ass things, but suing the cops when the cops bust their asses up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like I say, it's crazy all the way around. But I think that, like I said, I think that certain standards would change a lot of stuff up. And I said I was going to enforce the 10-minute. We done went way past 10-minute rule. I'm gonna cut you off there on that one, bad. But these more couple. I appreciate you, man.
Absolutely, man. I understand. No problem, man. Thank you.
All right, appreciate the call.
All right.
But yeah, like I said, there shouldn't be any issue with wanting to have law enforcement, in good shape. Like I swear I saw a cop the other day. I want to say it was a sheriff, actually, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not going to say which county. But I was just like, how the fuck? And it was a female cop, and there's just no fucking way. There's no way that she should be allowed to do anything. And it's like, it's not because it's going to sound like, oh, you're saying because you should be a cop. Yeah, I am. Because again, like I say, what do you... I'm not going to play the game with people. Like, let's be honest. The bigger you are, the more out of shape you are generally. Like, there's some people who carry it really well. I'm sitting here telling you, I know for a fact from being overweight and losing weight and being where I'm at now, it feels so much better to be lighter, right? You know what I'm saying? It feels better to be lighter. Like, I've been heavy and my bones hurt and my joints, and it's just when I've lost weight, I'm doing stupid shit for no reason, just unnecessary energy, right? And so what I'm saying about all this is like, I know that you carrying that type of weight along with the stress of the job and everything else that goes with it, like, you're not operating at optimal performance, right? So there should be nothing wrong with somebody saying that somebody should be in shape. But if you are struggling, I'm watching this woman struggle to get out of her car and go walk, because it was at I guess she was working a kid's game or something. And I'm just like, how in the fuck? Like, how? Who are you stopping? You're not stopping nothing. You're not going to stop the fucking ball if it rolls off the field. Like, what good are you? Why should you get any special treatments, benefits, or any of these things? You're not able to correctly execute the job. Like, I think it's a job I would never do. Like, again, like I said, I fuck with y'all. I don't fuck with people that much to be wanting to risk my life day in and day out. And I think those people do deserve special treatment. But I think that there should be a high standard. Like, anybody who can just, do the basics, just barely get by. And I know that people get pushed through because you got numbers and things to fulfill too. And I think that's a problem. Like, that's where you're getting a lot of this shit. When you get a lot of shitty law enforcement officers who are fearful, like, the fuck, man? You know what I'm saying? You're big, strong. Yeah, exactly. Now, that's the thing that kills me too. Like, those fucking bodybuilders who get too big, like, you can tell, like, they struggle to wipe their own ass. Like, come on, bro. Like, I get it. I get more, I guess, the aesthetic bodybuilding than, like, the real, I guess, I don't know the actual difference terminology. But, motherfuckers, just you can be too fucking big, dog. Like, you can be too fucking big. I hate, like, motherfuckers be all swole, and the motherfuckers always wear Air Force Ones, and the motherfuckers look fucking all wide around the ankle because they fucking calves are too big. Look like fucking horseshoes or some shit. Anyway, I'm going way off topic. But with law enforcement, like I said, I feel like it should be the best of the best, and they should be treated as such. I've talked about, this thing, and there's a reason why we do get outraged when these situations happen. Like, and it's the way that we operate in various cultures and various societies. Like, and, when you give somebody in society, special privileges, like, you have expectations from them. Like, there's a certain level of expectation. Even back in the day when, communities were much smaller, I think they said that community should be like, I think what it was, like 150 people is max is what we're supposed to be, really supposed to know, that we can really have genuine, intimate relationships with. But, the people who were exalted were those who went out and did the dangerous shit. They got the best food, they got the special treatment, they got catered to. Why? Because when it came down to it and everything was on the line, these are the people that are going to be on the front lines. These are going to be the people that are risking their lives, right? So they deserve something for that. These are the leaders. These are the pioneers. Like, they deserve special treatment for taking you, helping grow your society, taking you to the next level, or helping you make that progress that most people don't contribute to. But what happens now is, some of these people are getting these special privileges, but they don't deserve it, right? They don't fucking They're not contributing. They're not playing their role, right? We all have roles in this societal structure. So we give you the special privilege. We're willing to look away from certain things if you're doing, the things that we ask. You do a dangerous job. We expect that. But then you have those who benefit off that, but they're not contributing, right? And so that's kind of the problem I think we have now. We got a lot of people who are unqualified, but yet are still getting, those type of treatments. There's so much going on with this story particularly that it really makes me wonder how it's going to play out, because there's a lot of emotion every time that these situations take place. There's a lot of emotion. There's honestly, like, there's no emotion for me in this. Like, except for the kids, I feel bad for them because they don't have any control over the matter. But as far as like for the guy himself, man, there's no emotion. Like, I'm just telling y'all in the Discord deal. It's like it's just to the point this year is just I'm numb to everything, right? Like I'm just numb to everything. It's just like something else. Okay, what's going on here now, right? And it's just now I'm not emotionally attached to any of the shit. It's just I'm just looking at it like this is crazy, but this is where we are. I'm just a casual observer. I'm an observer now, and so, but this, like I said, I feel bad for the children, right? Because from in their eyes, and again, I don't know, especially when you're young, depending on what community you're raised in, you're told various things about law enforcement. So I don't know if they had a favorable view or a negative view, but if they did have a favorable view of law enforcement, I'm pretty sure it's negative now. Well, the cop shot my daddy. Well, I'm sitting in the car while they beat him up, roughed him up, whatever. He got up and they shot him. But then this also makes me ask, like, if the neighbor who said they saw it said he had him in a chokehold or had him in a headlock, right? One was punching him, one had him in a headlock, and the other one tased him. Y'all couldn't get this man down? Like, what the fuck, right? Like, how can you put this man on the ground? And that's another problem when you have unqualified, physically unfit people doing a job that they probably shouldn't be doing. You know what I'm saying? Call it out racist. So yeah, that's the thing, man. But with him, again, I would agree that more, oh shit. Damn, that's no bueno. I'm glad you definitely take care of yourself, Mr. Badbot. But like I said, it's a situation where, yeah, more details are going to come out, but I think in the court of public opinion, most people have already made a decision. And again, I think they made that decision emotionally and not really thinking about everything that's happening, everything that's going on. I mean, we can sit here, and I know people can say, well, they shouldn't have shot him. And I get that. Like, I definitely get that. They say you put 7 in a man, basically point blank. It's like, how do you get to that point? But at the same time, like, I look at these situations and I'm the guy. Like, it's funny because I see people get way emotional, but I've seen people get mad because I've talked to this about, with various people throughout. Oh, why don't you feel like this? What? But it's like, nigga, I look more like, well, I'm much darker than he is, but we're talking, I'm the black man with the dreadlocks, right? So it's like, if I'm not getting upset and, crying and upset about this, and again, being the situation that I've been involved in, this year, recently, whatever, and not mad about the police or any of these things. And I talk to people who have no correlation, no relation, no semblance to any of these scenarios, but they're more upset. Like, it makes me wonder, right? It really makes me wonder, like, how we gotten to the point where everybody's brainwashed? Because I was talking to Big M yesterday in the thing, and he pointed something out, talking about sports and the BLM messages and all this shit, and Kenny Steele and his whole thing, right? Because he was talking about it, and he mentioned something about it, and again, like, we skip over everything to focus on one thing, but again, like, the reason I get so mad about it is because when you when you change the characters, same story, change the characters, then nobody wants to talk about that one thing, right? Then that one thing's no longer important. And that's where I don't get it, right? That's where I don't get it. And that's where like I stop giving a fuck about having these conversations because it's stupid. Like I don't know the number. I don't know the number of police involved shootings this year. And I'll go look it up maybe after the stream and we'll talk about it, tomorrow. But I can guarantee, man, there's a bigger problem facing black people. I can guarantee that there are I could guess and say there's like 7 problems that are more detrimental than police. And I'm pretty sure there's way more than that. I'm just thinking off the like it's not the issue. Any life loss is an issue, but it's not the issue that we make it is. And I agree. No, I definitely agree. Shouldn't have, like, you walk to that car, like, you're giving them, whether you're in the right or the wrong, you're giving a free pass. And so, like, we can talk about all this other stuff, but it's like there's a point where you got to realize I'm not gonna win. I'm already in the wrong. I'm already on whatever side. I'm not, even if I'm not in the wrong, it's just a situation where me taking certain actions, I can't overpower my way out this situation. You know what I'm saying? I can't hog my way out. I gotta, it is what it is. I'm gonna take this little L. I'll be back to play again, or we resolve this situation in court, or whatever it is. And now, you're still gonna have to resolve that situation in court. But you got shot in the meantime while this happened. I know people talk about civil suits and things of that nature, but I don't know. I honestly don't, like, just looking at it and for everything that's going on, you played right into the law's hands. So even if what the neighbor's saying that, you were getting beat on or whatever, okay, well now they're attempting to arrest you. That's going to be the statement there. So what happened when you got up? You resisted a fucking arrest, right? Like, that's what you played yourself, honestly. Like, that you doing whatever happened, and again, it's fucked up that the dude got shot. But, like, if we're talking technicalities, legality, whatever you want to look at, like, he put himself in an L. Like, it is what it is, man. So it's like, I feel bad for the children because they had no control of the situation, right? But my thing is, Kenny still got a whole tattoo. Oh man! Again, like I said, it's a lot of stuff like that. Whatever. But like I said, don't get caught up in the bullshit again. Wait and see. That's a weird thing to say. But I mean, it's just like, if the pedo allegations are not true, cool, fine, I'm not tripping on that. Then, good, excellent, But if all of these things are true, if these are accurate, you have less sympathy for the man. But again, like I said, doesn't entitle you to take his life. But again, he created a situation where he allowed himself to kind of. It sounds so fucked up to allow himself to get shot, but again, like, none of us are oblivious to this. If we've all seen the clips, he's seen the clips just like anybody else, right? No, the line's not open, Isley. The number's just up there for everybody but you. So that's why I say, like, it's a situation where it's like too much shit going on. Like, he put himself in that scenario, and he put his kids in a very dangerous situation. Like, once they're trying to apprehend you, you have no win, dog. Like, once you're detained, you have no win. There's nothing you can say. So, I mean, there's nothing you can do. Like, we can we can look at it again. Like I said, it's a small clip without a lot of context. But if you listen to what the neighbor said beforehand, this is the same guy apparently that shot the video, and he's saying that they had him in not handcuffed, they had him in a headlock, and they had him in a chokehold or all that other stuff, and getting tased. Well, again, like I said, they're trying to apprehend you, and then you're resisting, and you know what resisted arrest turns into. It turns into anything, which is a weird. Resisting arrest is the weirdest charge to me, but. You know, but again, it's like I don't know. I don't know. Again, like it's weird. I think it's gonna get overblown. I think people are not gonna really care about the details, but I think the biggest factor of this, if it doesn't blow up into a major thing, is because he lived, and that doesn't matter. Like actual Black lives don't matter, but BLM. So. You know, like, I mean, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. But I mean, he could have been watching, right? And again, I don't know where, you know, maybe things moved from here to there. And then by the time he got the phone, you know, it was a different scenario. Anyway, pardon me for all the yawning and stuff. But, you know, like I said, it's everything is possible. I don't know, man. At this point, it's just another situation. Like I said, another thing to throw some fuel on the fire. Another thing to get people hyped up, riled up, angry and mad, and fucking. It worked. Let's take this call. What's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
Ashley.
Hello, Ashley. How are you doing this evening?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. No complaints. What is on your mind about this situation that took place in Wisconsin?
I think it's pretty sad. That he was shot. Yeah, I'm
Just, do you think that the shooting was justified?
no. Mm-mm.
What do you think they should have done differently?
I don't know. They could have used their tasers or
He was already tased.
not
Though.
shoot.
They had already tased. This was
Yeah, but like
Hmm?
they take them.
They had already
And
tased
it
him.
didn't work.
Yeah, so apparently it was non-effective.
On more than one gun.
I mean, I don't know how many times they tased him, but I think, you know, if after once, I don't know how many times you want to try again.
I mean, I just would think that that the taser were.
But that's what I'm saying. I mean,
Anyways, I don't. But
but yeah, like I think non-lethal methods apparently were used. This is according to the neighbor that they were trying to subdue him. That again, like that he was in a headlock, getting punched and getting tased. I guess all at the same time, and apparently that didn't subdue him. So he made his way towards the vehicle where they shot him. But you feel like he was validated in doing what he did, or should he have surrendered?
I was walking to his car.
Hmm.
The guy walking to his car.
But he wasn't just walking to his car. They were attempting to apprehend him, and this is taking place after him getting up from them doing that. So it wasn't like he was just walking, minding his own business randomly down the street. This is in the midst of them trying to subdue him.
Right. I mean, I just don't think you should beat someone. I mean, unless they're like grabbing a gun or whatever. Like driving off doesn't justify them shooting you.
But
That's weird.
But here's my thing: if the motion that you're making, because let's be honest, like if you're watching the video, he's not attempting to get in the vehicle like as he's driving off. That's a I'm reaching into the vehicle to obtain something motion. Like, do you even allow them to get back to their vehicle to find out? Like, why would you give them that opportunity if you were in that situation?
If he was driving off, would I shoot somebody in the back? No, I wouldn't.
No, that's not the situation. Though. He was not driving off. If you were having an altercation with somebody, and after you're trying to stop them or slow them down, and they're not looking like the methods that you've utilized so far are unsuccessful. Now, there's still some type of conflict going on. You're going to willingly let them walk to their vehicle and get inside with no attempt to alter their path?
I don't see how killing someone would.
That's not what I'm saying, though. But I'm saying, if you are in a conflict with somebody, you're willingly going to let them have free range access to their vehicle.
Yeah. What do you think I'm going to stop them? I mean, I guess you're not thinking as a civilian, but
I'm thinking what kind of altercations do y'all people get in? That's what I'm trying to figure out. If I'm having a fight with somebody as a civilian, I'm not letting them go to their car. Period. If I have an altercation with somebody and they look like they're going to their fucking car, I'm finna lay their fucking ass down. I don't know what you got in the fucking car. I'm going to the trunk, or I'm going, man, fuck no. We're not finna find out. Like, I don't know. Maybe I'm different like that. Maybe I'm not finna allow that opportunity. That's why I see it like. That's why I see it like, fuck no, I'm not mad at him for that, because I wouldn't do it. If I got a problem with you, right, and I think you should go, well, you just made a bad decision. You should have squared up instead of trying to go do whatever the fuck you try to do, because I'm finna take it as you trying to get something to take me out for good, permanently. That's how because that's what I would be thinking if it was me on the other side.
I mean, in a bar fight, I wouldn't stop anybody from going in their car. That's crazy. Or like a regular altercation. Like, what am I going to do? I would go to my own car.
And why would you go to your car if you were going to your car? If you were going to your own car, why would you be going to your own car?
Yeah, like if I was going to my own car and somebody tried to physically stop me from getting into my car, I'd fucking kill them. But I wouldn't stop somebody. I wouldn't do that to somebody. Okay,
so even in that situation, right? This guy is getting arrested. They're preventing him from leaving a scene. And now he's trying to go to his car. So what do you think that they're thinking?
That he might drive off.
I don't think that's what they're thinking. I think that's a secondary option, but I don't think you don't find out. I think it's stupid to sit there, well, let's see if he's going to drive away and then we'll figure it out. Or let's find out if he fucking gets in the car where he has a fucking gun stash and he fucking unloads on us. And then, two of us are hit and, now we're fucking bleeding, dying at the scene and he got away. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying he's some fucking deranged super killer or nothing like that. I'm just saying these are possibilities of happening. I mean, you see certain videos, it happens real quick. It's crazy. But, I don't like, to me, like, I think it's dumb as shit that he went to the fucking car. Like, dog, you getting your ass beat, the cops are on your ass. You know what's going to happen. Like, you as a civilian, like, yes, should they be better trained? Absolutely. But you're the one taking the L right now. Why escalate that?
Yeah, but you don't know if this guy was mentally ill or had PTSD. You don't know.
Okay, and mentally ill people hurt people too, right?
Yeah, but still, they should have better training then. But that's not the point. The point is they shot him in 6 or 7 times in the back. That's crazy.
Like it's. I mean, like I say, different views on this. I think that, man, look, if you're in a situation, especially if you're a person, if you genuinely believe that the cops are out here eliminating black people, why would you escalate a situation where you have no leverage?
Yeah, that's true. Like, you shouldn't escalate the situation, but that doesn't make it justified.
No, I'm not saying it's justified, but justification is walking away with your life. Justification is walking away not getting fucking shot, like, or trying to prove a point. And that's what happens with a lot of people. I got to make sure my point is proven. I got to make sure I'm heard and said, and they end up fucking dead. And then what's the point? They got their respect in the grave. Like, the point is to be able to pick your fucking kids up. The point of that situation is your kids are in that car. You know that. You know these people don't give a fuck about your children or you. Nobody does. Nobody whether they're law enforcement or civilian, doesn't matter. Like, your job is to make sure your kids are not in harm's way. By him going back in that vehicle where those children were, he put those kids' life in danger.
I don't know. I mean, do you think that woman wearing skimpy clothes causes rape?
I don't think it prevents it. I think that it would. And again, like I say, I'm not saying that, because you're going to say like victim blaming. It's not what I'm saying. But like, here's the thing, and this is a similar situation with this guy. Like, you got to know your place on the pecking order, right? That's just, it is what it is. If you are a woman, you have no protection, and you just demand that you must wear the skimpiest of items, and you're in sketchy places and doing sketchy behaviors, and something happens, it is not your fault. But if you know you put yourself in high risk scenarios, you're not doing yourself a favor. I'm not going to have the same level of sympathy as I would for some, again, just hypothetical situation, some librarian or something who's closing down the thing and she just gets attacked or whatever, as opposed to somebody who's out there just hoeing it up all day in the streets looking a particular kind of way. Because you're inviting attention. I mean, you're entitled. I mean, it's when you put yourself out there, you're inviting attention. It's, it is what it is, whether you like it or not.
Mm-hmm. Well, that sounds terrible, but yeah.
I mean, here's the thing: it is terrible, and but it's the way of the world. Like, so that's what I don't get. Like, that's the thing.
I know that's exactly what I thought you were saying.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna be. Yeah, but ask any old school woman. Ask any old school woman, and they'll tell you the same thing. Like, here's the deal, right? Motherfuckers want to go and go into the bear cage, and you get a little upset when the bear fucking swats your ass. Like, if you put yourself in a situation where there's danger and then something dangerous happens, that's on you. Now, if you just are a random victim, again, hey, that's extremely unfortunate. But that happens too. But it's just like, should you be able to wear what you want to? Yes. But do you know that there are predators out there that are going to get you or treat you a certain way because you're doing a certain thing, or more likely to try to do something because, yeah, and you know that too. So my thing is like, why invite any unnecessary danger? That's my whole thing. Is like, why invite extra problems into your life just because you want to do these things, or accept that these are the problems that come with doing those things.
Right. Yeah, that was just, that's different. I don't know. I just don't think it's justified.
No, I mean, I'm not.
So what's the topic? So what's the topic?
Well, the topic is just, we were just speaking on it because, like I say, different people have different views. And like I say, but some people don't think it's justified. I don't necessarily think it's justified either, but again, like I say, the way that it's going to be panned out and the way that it's going to be played in the media, like, they'll be validated in every instant. Again, my thing is, should it have happened? No. Should it have been prevented before it happened? Absolutely. But again, like, you're not doing yourself any favors, because ultimately, the citizen is the one with everything to fucking lose. You have no extra protection. You have no union, no nothing looking out for you. So you have to realize and be aware of what you got going on, and do your best to get out of that unscathed. So, I don't think he took smart choices to do that.
No, it wasn't smart, but geez, 6 times.
What, you sweet bear, you over there hating? But yeah, like I say, it's just it's a wild deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, that was my call.
Okay. Well, as always, Miss Ashley, it is good to hear from you, and I hope you have a good evening.
You too. Get to hear from you as well.
All right, good night. And yes, I know y'all say that's not right. That women should be able to wear. Yeah, you should be able to wear whatever you want. Like, absolutely, wear whatever you please. People are going to judge you. People are going to talk about you, and it's going to happen. You're not exempt from that. Like, that's the thing that kills me too. Is like people feel, well, you know, I should be able to do what I want. Everybody gets talked about. Like, you're not special. So, like, wear whatever you want, do whatever you want to, but accept the fact that people are going to talk about you. Like, you got to. That's the thing. Like, people want to be able to do whatever and get special protections because they want to do what they like. If you really want to do that shit, whatever that thing is, you know, if you want to dress a particular way, scantily clad, have crazy hair color, whatever, like, you can do whatever the fuck you want to do. But, you know, can you call back and derail the dead? Go for it. The line is still open. But, you know, my thing is just like, you can do whatever you want to in life, but there's consequence for every choice that you make. And if as long as you're willing to deal with the consequences that come with it, then fucking do that shit. You know what I'm saying? Well, what's the motherfucking deal? Who we got calling into the den this evening?
It's just me again.
Okay. What's on your mind this evening, ma'am?
Okay, so have you heard there's a woman going around and saying that Tommy Sotomayor gave her chlamydia. Have you heard about that?
No, I have not heard about that, but that's hilarious, I guess.
Yeah, I guess they had, well, she said they dated, but I don't think I wouldn't consider it dating.
No, yeah.
But he flew her out, and then she caught chlamydia, and now she's, like, going online ranting about it. Pretty annoying.
So what evidence does she have that he flew her out?
Oh, like messages and DMs from...
Tommy needs a recruiter or something. He's terrible at this. I don't always hear something about some woman that said this about Tommy, some woman that said that about Tommy. Poor fella. But what if she's the one that gave him committed? What if she's the one? What if she's Agent Zero and she's falsely accusing this man?
I don't know. She had a live earlier, so of course my nosy ass hopped on. And I was like, why do you think you were dating this guy, you know? Mm-hmm. Anyways, and she seems to feel like she's totally justified, and I don't.
No.
I just think it's...
Yeah, well, you know, men and women have very different views of the term dating. So that's a whole thing in itself. So, you know. But yeah, that's unfortunate. That's crazy. I'm gonna look into that if that is the case.
I was familiar.
Yes, that's unfortunate. I hope not. I hope has he been missing live streams? You know, if any weird activity been going on, then maybe so. But if not, then maybe she's just making some shit up. Like, I don't know. That's crazy though.
No, that's nuts. Oh my god, and she said he smelled like cat piss.
What?
Yeah, she said he smelled like cat pee, which is disgusting. I'll kill you.
That's terrible. That's a terrible thing to say. I don't know. They just trying to take my boy Tommy out, man. Y'all don't want to see my boy Tommy winning. That's awful. Oh man.
That's all I was thinking. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I appreciate you calling back in and sharing that with us. I'm sure we'll definitely get on that topic here real soon in the Discord.
Okay, good night.
All right, good night, Mr. Ashton. Well, that's unfortunate if that is even the case. Let's see. What y'all in there? What is y'all fizzly fussing about? Terribleness going on. I love you, just sir. East Side, what's the motherfucking deal? What's going down East Side? Man. I thought lies, man. Appreciate the love, Eastside. What's the motherfucking deal, man? Who we got calling into the den this evening? Testing, testing. Mic check 1 2 1 2.
Thoughts lives matter.
Hello?
Hola, ¿cómo está? You have called Eldin.
I'm Rashito.
Hola, my friend Marcita. You have called it in, and tonight we are talking about the story that took place in Wisconsin with Sir Jacob Blake, African American brother friend, and he was shot. What are your thoughts on Jacob Blake, my friend?
I'm just tired. That's it. I'm just tired of all the violence, period. Whether it be police brutality or black-on-black crime. I mean, it's just, at this point, exhausting. I mean, I feel like I'm just all cried out. Like, I ain't got no more food. You know what I'm saying? I'm just to the point, you know, I have a whole different perspective because I'm from Chicago. Y'all, the headlines, I know some of the people. You know what I'm saying? Y'all see the numbers. I see the names, the age. You know what I'm saying? So, while it might be a sensational story to you, that's somebody's brother, that's somebody's uncle, that's somebody's something. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just fucked up all the way around.
I agree, and I agree with you too, man. You know, I'm tired. I'm tired of all the nonsense. I'm tired of the nonsensical responses to the nonsense.
I don't want to see no more. I don't want to see no more executions. I don't want to see no more murder. You know what I'm saying? Gotta witness that shit on video. It's one thing when you hear about, you know, oh, this person got shot, but when you see the video, you know what I'm saying? And I still don't crack. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I'm to the point where I'm like almost like robotic. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm so desensitized to the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's sad. You know what I'm saying? Like people be like, this person got killed. Everybody crying. I'm just looking like, yeah, hey. And I don't really like feeling like that. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like so much violence when you become immune to that shit, you do lose like a part of your humanity. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
No, I would agree that I think when these things continue to go on, you know, time and time again, you do become numb. You do feel like, oh, again, it makes you almost less and less concerned. And it's unfortunate because, again, each one of these lives is an individual. They matter in their own
this
perspective.
time, it was the white people out there doing that shit. You know, you saw a lot of white people out there burning that shit up. But then you got motherfuckers calling in and talking about black people trying to make this a race issue. That was the white people out there. Talk about the white community.
Lovecraft Country is good. A sharp hashtag HELL.
They burning shit down. But I heard those same words when black people was out there doing the same shit. Oh, they being stupid, they being ignorant, they being this and they being that. Okay. You know, people have to see how they handle it. You know what I mean? I'm saying it happened in Wisconsin. That's how they chose to handle it. And hey, it is what it is.
Lovecraft
And I'm
Country.
tired of the motherfucking police acting like they always fearing for their motherfucking life when somebody walking away. The man obviously trying to get away from y'all ass. Cause when y'all had him in the fucking headlock and punching him in the ribs and shit, y'all could have tackled him then. Y'all gonna let this motherfucker, y'all gonna let this man get up, you know what I'm saying, and try to walk? Come on now. Stop the bullshit and the nonsense. And then nobody think out of 3 stooges that's up there, nobody thought to get in front of his door to stop him from trying to exit the scene of the crime? Come on now. I'm just tired of the fuckery and the bullshit. That's it.
Okay. Well, like I said, I think
You got 3 police out there and they ain't got one fucking brain? Come on now. What's each one I'm working with? A third of a brain? Like, come on now. I mean, all this police remote training, that's fucking bullshit. They probably had 20, 30 years of experience all together. You didn't tell me they couldn't come up with something better than shooting the damn man in the back? come on, man. And then people try to justify the bullshit. Like,
well, here's the thing. Here's the game.
If I met my 10 minutes because this shit be getting on my nerves. I mean, got any questions? Because I'm ready to get the fuck off this phone.
No, I mean, but here's the thing, though, right? If we know that there's a problem, if we know that there's an issue that's going on in particular communities, and most people in those communities are aware of that, like, at what point? And again, every situation is different. I get it because we can point out to, well, you know, there were guys they followed completely. They complied and they still got shot. I mean, I've seen one other day, guy he was handcuffed on the car, did everything the law enforcement officer asked him to, still shot him. So I get it. So I understand it. But at what point do we start taking the measures? No, see why it's got to be bullshit because you don't want to hear it. See, we talked about this last night. You got to stop getting emotional. But I mean, but at what point? But at what point does somebody, you know, value their own life though? But that's what I'm saying. But this is a discussion, so you have to look at everything. You have to be prepared to discuss everything.
I don't have to look at it shit.
Yeah, you do.
Go ahead.
But if you're gonna be one-sided, you're always gonna get a one-sided response, and that's why this shit gonna keep on going because nobody wants to think. They just want people to acquiesce to their side, and that's why shit don't. That's why shit don't get talked. But that's what I'm saying. Nobody does.
More than everybody else in the den.
Okay, but what you've experienced has it been more from law enforcement or more from people in their own community?
You said you had a question, so what is your question?
Yeah, exactly. So, like I said, at what point do you, knowing you're in a dangerous situation, not take steps to preserve your own life?
So, trying to get away from them is not trying to preserve your life?
Oh, if you're in a situation where you're trying to be apprehended, and you're telling me walking away from the police, not running
at that. If they were trying to actually apprehend him, they would have put the handcuffs on him when they fucking tased him and was punching him in the ribs. They had time to do that, but they didn't have time to put him on the ground and handcuff. Come on now.
So you say they just wanted to practice MMA? That so you're telling me that the tasing was completely successful?
Then they want to say the man had a gun. I mean, they ain't found no gun in that car. They probably even first.
Like I said, I don't know what they had. Like I said, the neighbor was the one who said they yelled out about having a knife.
He was in fear for his life. He was running to get a gun, but ain't nobody to stuff no fucking gun.
Okay, but you can't sit here and say he was finna drive away because nobody knows what the fuck he was finna do. He didn't even get in the car, so it's easier to assume that he's getting something. Man, this is so. If we want to talk about stupid, but yeah, he had three. Man, no, the fuck he was not getting beat up by the. Let's stop with the stretching of the ridiculousness. You done just got punched, tased, and fucking everything. You're going to check. You know the fuck you not. You shouldn't even be nowhere near by that fucking car
because if you know where he was going. How you don't know where he was going?
Well, how he know he was going? He just got beat up and tased. He incoherent. So how the fuck he knew where he was going? Then that's even worse, right?
So he don't know where he's going, but he's trying to get to a car.
That's what I'm trying to figure out because I'm sitting here saying it's just as much of a chance he's going to the car to get something out of it as he is to drive off. Nobody fucking knows because he didn't get in the car. Nobody saw the action. It's easy to speculate on the possible action of what he would have done in the car. He was just going to drive off. That's all he was going to do. What the fuck? Like so.
If you're going to your car to get a gun, you're not going to be trying to get in the car. You're going to be trying to reach in the car.
That's what he was doing. Did you not watch the video? Come on, bro. That was a reach.
Come on now. Stop the bullshit, man. Man, my 10 minutes up. I'm out.
All right. See, this is why we're going to continue to have the same problems. Don't nobody want to... Like, you got to get off the blind blackness. I love being black. I'll never change it. I love black women. It's the most beautiful, attractive thing in the world to me. But the nonsense that we keep selling ourselves is where the problem lies. Should this man have been shot? Absolutely not. But could he have taken better steps to preserve his own life? Absolutely. Like, how hard is it to say, yeah, he could have? That's like accountability is power. Like that's the problem. We saw black power, then we don't even hold nobody accountable. There's no fucking power with no accountability. Like, come on, man. Like this, like that. All those things, like people just like saying words sometimes, and like I get frustrated with this because I genuinely do care. Like this is the problem. this is where the issue lies, right? Because we can make all these excuses. We can make all these exceptions. We can make all these justifications. Well, he was going to do this and he was going to... But for him to have done that, he would have gone past the actions in which he was engaged, and we don't fucking know. But yet we can assume what was going to happen. Again, and again, like I said, people say whatever they want to, about your association, about who you hang with, who you don't hang with, whatever, right? Like I tell you, and I still got some associates I probably shouldn't be cool with, but according to the things that I talk about, I still do. I know how people operate. Now, I'm not saying this dude was one of them type of people. I don't know. He's got charged, got domestic violence issues, all this other stuff. And I hope that, here's the thing. One, like I said, like Bad Bot said, and we're going to get ready to wind down after this. Because actually I got to take a Honcho hiatus here. And so I'm going to just drop a little bit short. But here's my thing, right? Like, to sit here and say that that's out of the realm of possibility is fucking ridiculous. Like, you can go look up a video on cops pulling over drivers, right? And you'll see a fucking montage of some of the most innocent looking fucking stops, some of the most innocent looking interactions that I'm sure they've done 1,000 fucking times. And them motherfuckers going haywire. Like, again, I'm not no fucking Blue Lives Matter. I'm not no fucking bootlicker. Like, I feel the same way about that. You chose the job. You know the difficulties that come with it. But I think there should be better hirings. Like, it is what it is. Like, I feel like everybody, people, period, be accountable for what you do. If you chose that, you know it's dangerous. Well, yeah, don't be surprised. This shit happens. You know what I mean? Like, that's how this thing works. You interact with them. Don't be surprised that if it happens a certain, the other way. Like, it is what it is. Absolutely, it's a job risk, but at the same time, what are people going to do? Minimize risk. And if minimizing the risk means you or me, well, hey, look, it's going to be you. Like, it's not, the risk is not, well, hey, there's a possibility of, let's determine if this guy really wants to shoot you. I'd be like, fuck that, dog. Especially if I got kids and a family. Like, it is what it is. But at the same time, and I'm not saying that's what he was going to do, but if you're going to your fucking vehicle, there's a possibility of a couple of things happening. I don't know what you got in that fucking car. A lot of people, maybe y'all aren't from Texas. Maybe y'all don't understand. Maybe it's because I'm from Texas. It's different, right? Maybe that's what I understand. If you want to go test your luck around here, I say go for it. You're going to probably end up very unlucky. Everybody who can legally carry a fucking gun and take it. Anybody can leave illegally. Grandmas to motherfucking, it don't matter. Everybody's packing in this bitch. If I see a motherfucker go to the car, they're going to get a fucking gun in Texas. Like, if we're having an altercation and the motherfucker's trying to make his way to the car because he's on the not so beneficial end of that altercation, I'm thinking this motherfucker's going to get a car. Going to get a car. He's going to get a gun, right? Why? Because it's happened every fucking time that goes down. So, again, but I don't know shit. I'm just a nigga talking on the internet. I like just making stuff up because I've seen these motherfucking things. Niggas go to the fucking car to get the fucking, if he ain't got it on him, he's going to the car to go get that bitch. And that's square niggas too. Like, so, like, sitting here with this, he wasn't doing this. You're like, come on, dog. Like, y'all act like I was fucking born yesterday. Like, that's I don't know. I have no idea what it is. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I got to start changing maybe I got to code switch and start talking a certain way so y'all believe shit. But like, dog, there's always outcomes, and I'm gonna take the most favorable outcome for my fucking self. Like, period, point blank. That's just it. Like, and in that situation, dog, even if you are going to the car to drive off, you know you got kids in that bitch. There's a possibility. You got weapons drawn that you don't fucking know that there's a possibility motherfuckers to shoot at that bitch. Like, come on. Like, he fucked up. In that situation, he fucked up. If you taking that L, like, dog, don't go back to your vehicle for no reason if you got children in that car. Any fucking thing can happen. Like, and that's that, man. Like, that's it. Like, but whatever. Like I say, man, you gotta, we as black people got to stop letting the emotions control you and take you over as a culture. That's part of the problem. It's more emotional than logical. And then, you know, what happens if it turned out this motherfucker's a scumbag, right? What happens if it turned out this guy is fucking with underage girls and is with domestic violence and all this other shit, you know, like all these other things going on. What if it turns out all that stuff is accurate? That's who he is. Y'all still rooting for this motherfucker? Like, I still don't think it justifies him getting shot that way. But you gonna go to bat for him with that same level of passion? Like, are you gonna go to bat for this motherfucker with that same intensity? And look, motherfuckers make bad decisions. If it was me in the same situation, and this is what I do, I put myself in the fucking situation. Like, nigga, if I'm down bad, I'm getting hassled and tasseled by the laws. Look, I'm not finna sit here and say I'm gonna be 100% compliant. Like, if you in a situation where you feel like your life is at risk, whatever, like, I can sit here and say that. If I'm getting choked out or something, like, you know, yeah, you're gonna feel a particular kind of way. But if it gets to a situation where I can prevent all that happening, like, honestly, a simple conversation, a basic respect, 9 times out of 10 will get you out of a situation flawlessly. But emotion, soon as the laws pull up, niggas start getting emotional, start reacting, and bam, there it goes, dog. Like, so you'll be surprised how far civil conversation will get you 9 times out of 10. And I'm not saying, like I say, I don't know all the details prior to what happened with this. I'm going off of what the neighbor said and some of the other things, some of the articles, especially if this is the same person that started recording the video. Obviously, they saw something that made them start recording, right? Because had they not recorded, it's like, come on, man. They obviously saw something, so I would think that they would probably be honest about it. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I just think it was stupid to go to the car. If you trying to get away, run the fuck away, right? Not go to your fucking car with your kids in it. Even if you were trying to drive away, it's fucking dumb. You don't go on a high-speed chase with your fucking kids in the car. There's like nothing you can tell me about this nigga going to the car that makes any fucking sense. Like, nothing. He was either going to that bitch to get a strap, or if he was trying to leave, now you're finna take your fucking kids on a fucking high-speed chase with the fucking police. Now, like, tell me something else. Tell me the next thing y'all want to try to justify to make sense, because none of that shit doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, I'm a firm believer everybody having an opinion, you know, and I respect that. But as far as when it comes to this man walking to this fucking car with his children, there's nothing you can tell me that's gonna make me think, oh, well, that was the best option in that fucking case. If he was trying to get away, then run, nigga. Run like a butt, like run away, run the fuck away. He wasn't trying to get away. He was walking. You feel me? Like walking to the car. That's the mind made of a man. Oh, I ain't bet this finna go down. And that's the, if that power walk move, and the nigga ain't running. Running is the fear. I'm trying to get out of here. There was no fear in that. There was, I'm finna go handle this. Like, that's what I'm saying, man. Again, don't matter if you got spikes. You're a fucking idiot. A fucking retard. If you're willing to take your kids in a chase with the fucking laws, period. So if you got 3 kids in that bitch and you want to get them involved in a legal situation, spike strips, shoot the tires out, I don't care about none of that shit. It should not fucking happen. Like, there's nothing that you can tell me, sell me, that justifies him going to that fucking vehicle. Now, I'm not justifying that he should have been shot either, but that didn't help his case. Now, with that being said, y'all know what it is. I'm finna shout out. We're gonna be in a Discord immediately after this. I'm gonna take a small Honcho hiatus. I'll be in there for a little bit. So again, I appreciate y'all coming through. I know I got in a little late. I know a few minutes short, but I gotta do what I gotta do. Y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I appreciate y'all, man. Hey, make sure you're following all the proper social medias. Ed Honcho HTX on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. No, Digital Live. All the links that you need are in the description below. Again, y'all be cool like y'all be cool. I'm not telling y'all gotta go home. I'm inviting you all to come be a part of the Discord. I'll post a link in here shortly. But you gotta get the fuck up out of here. And we will be back at it tomorrow at the regular time. So until then, adios. I'm gone. Until next time. Well, I guess I need to put the thing out there. Right, there we go. Wow, there we go. Do 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 do. That's funny, just Sarah. All right, I'm out, y'all.